meet the Curd.
And my wife.
Kurt.
She's imaginary.
Oh, she's back now. The imaginary wife.
Ding!
Oh, yeah! Shazam! There she is!
You know what it is? It's
No,
like,
I have no idea what you're saying.
what's that the show with the Avengers that fight for...
Shazam?
No, recycling and stuff like that. They have the rings. They just touch the rings then. Captain Planet.
Oh, okay. Actually,
You totally knew what I was talking about.
right, but you can't describe it correctly.
Captain Planet. That's what it was.
So what is the point of this conversation?
We didn't really have one.
Oh, okay. So yes, we've got Curtis, we've got Mrs. Curtis, we've got Jennifer,
Mrs. Curd.
we
actually call
Mrs.
We're
Derek,
starting to call her McSmoot.
McSmoot,
Yeah.
and Curd.
Yeah.
This is messed up. I apologize. I apologize.
Yeah.
So what do we do? What, okay, so this is what happened. I had an argument with Curtis.
Which happens a lot, actually.
Yeah, but then we usually resolve it by actually just doing whatever it is we're arguing about.
Yeah, exactly.
And then other people learn from it.
Exactly.
For better or worse. And one of the arguments was that there's no such thing as a good vermouth. And you're like, there's totally a good thing as a vermouth. I was like you, and then I saw the light, and then there was like things, and vermouth came from the sky, and it was good. So I was like, okay, what do I need to buy? So Curtis sent me 2 links. I went out to Drink Up New York. That drives me crazy. I went out to Drink Up New York, and I purchased what he told me to. Right? Are
Yes.
these the 2?
These are the 2.
I don't know what they are. I literally showed up today. They're probably still cold from being outside.
Yeah.
And
Which is good.
Yeah, probably. And this is cold because it was in the refrigerator.
Oh.
This is Noilly Prat.
So you want the backstory to go with this whole thing?
Everybody loves the backstory, Curd.
Okay. So
And the front
I
story.
felt the same way as Derek. We are building pre-prohibition cocktails,
Yes.
and I'm going through so much vermouth, just like buckets and buckets of vermouth.
Like this?
Yes.
Type of vermouth?
And
Bucket of it.
I came to the conclusion that I should taste everything individually to see how it all came together. And I had started drinking these vermouths, and
I hated it.
I hated it. I hate it so much. And it mostly because it just has this flavor to it that just tastes
Like
gross.
vermouth?
Like vermouth. And I assume that that's what vermouth tasted like.
Do you add water to these?
No.
No, because it's a wine.
So a couple years ago, a friend of mine who owns a bar in Boston handed me a bottle of this. And she was like, try this. I'm not going to tell you what it is. So I didn't know what it was. And I tried it and I was like, that is really awesome. What is it? And she goes, that's a vermouth.
Impossible.
That's what I said.
Well, but here's the problem. It's in a big bottle, right? And I'm not a vermouth. I don't just sit. I don't come home like people ask. What do you do when you come home and relax? And the first thing I told them is I never relax. It doesn't happen.
That's a fact. Trust me, he never relaxed. He's like that dog that just sits in the door. He's like,
Right. I'm on the computer doing something until I pass out.
Yeah.
There's no time for drinking. But this is a big bottle. And if I only use a little bit of that, that's like 7,000 martinis.
7 million martinis.
Million. You
Okay.
could always million it up.
So this is what I fell in love with. And as I was planning my new bar for Wink and Nod, I came into finding out about Vya. Now, this is made in Portland.
Portland? Portland, Maine, or Portland, Oregon, or Portland,
Oregon.
the other one?
Oregon. It's not exactly Portland, but it's close.
So wine country.
Yeah, wine country. This one is made in California in wine country.
Well, that makes sense because there's a wine country there too.
So the bigger thing, what I think is the problem, is Noilly Prat is owned by a company that owns tons and tons of wineries. And what fortified wine is, or what a vermouth is it's a majority of it is wine, and then they add a grappa or they add a neutral grain spirit to fortify it, and then they would add certain spices to give it its flavor. My thought is that Noilly Prat, because it's become such a big company and because all vermouths taste like shit, is using shitty wine, and that's what makes it taste shitty.
But
Imbue and Vya are made with really good wine, and I think they taste awesome, but you're going to have to be the judge on that.
so this probably cost me what, maybe $9?
$9.
That was 22 and that was like 21.
Yeah.
So now the question is, this is a $3.75. So
But this is going to help.
it's about the same price.
Yeah, but this is going to help fix something for me because I'm going to use Vya as my house vermouth. Mm-hmm. So when you go into Wink and Nod in Boston, you're going to get Vya. You're not going to get Noilly Prat.
So I'll put this here so we have a record of it.
Reference. Okay.
So you're gonna get Vya and not Noilly Prat. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So what we're going to do?
So where do you buy that? Can you get that locally?
Yeah, I have a distributor.
Okay.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to taste the Noilly Prat. and want to hate ourselves and jump off the building.
Oh, I love this part.
I know.
Smells like Chardonnay.
Chardonnay.
I don't really like Chardonnay. You like Chardonnay?
I just don't like wine. She loves wine. I hate it.
Really?
Yeah.
I like wine.
She's constantly trying to get me to drink it.
You know.
That's like Derek.
I know.
I tried. You know what the problem is? I open a bottle of red wine, and I have to drink the whole thing over the course of a week. And by the end, it's so thick, like so muted on any type of flavor. Oh, this actually doesn't smell that bad. You know what it smells like?
What's up?
This smells like wine and Geneva put together.
Yes.
It has like is it a malt? Is it malt?
That maltiness. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it tastes like sake.
Yep. Always tastes like sake.
What? Why? How's that
You
feel?
like that, Huckard?
I love it.
You know, what blows my mind is like when I do something and I drink it, I'm like, that doesn't taste good. You're all like, I can give you like something like a habanero bitters or something. You're like, that's not too bad. I'm like, dude, you react completely the opposite of reality. Reality should be, oh, you just suck down hot habanero bitters. And you're like, whatever. And then you drink this.
She has no idea what's going on right now. She's like, what is going on?
We're coin operated here.
I know.
And then
It was a sale in the store.
and then
Okay.
you drink this, and I'm like, and you're like,
Hey, yeah. Okay, so now tell me if I'm wrong.
Well, here's the problem.
I handed you the water.
Well, that's the problem. I didn't have that, so it was this lingers.
Yeah, it lingers so much.
Ooh, that smells like well, it kind of has that vermouth smell to it, but it has like, I wanted to say rose petal or something. I don't know what it is. I don't know what that is. Like an aroma,
It has an aroma.
but almost like a red wine, almost aroma.
Yep.
Is it a red wine?
No, it's not.
It doesn't look like red. You know what it smells like? Like a Gewürztraminer.
Yep.
You're just saying yes, right?
Yeah, I'm totally saying that.
More of like a German sweet white wine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Whoa, that's got bite. What do you call that stuff? A tart, like,
Bitterness.
yeah, not like Campari, but more like tonic water.
Yeah.
Like
Quinine.
that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Does it have quinine in here?
I don't know.
They don't tell you.
Okay, so here's my
It's made
question.
with recycled paper.
Would you say that is better than the vermouth that we just had?
I don't really know if this is a vermouth. This tastes like a tonic water.
It's a vermouth.
A sweet tonic water. Or not sweet.
That's a vermouth.
It's dry.
Yeah.
I think. It tastes, it's starting to dry. 18%. What's this one? Doesn't it? Oh, same thing. That's not bad. But it doesn't taste like.
Doesn't taste like ass.
It doesn't say vermouth. It says aperitif wine. Which,
It's fortified.
yeah. I mean, that's the other trick is how. Okay.
Okay, the next
Does that
one
say
definitely.
vermouth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vermouth.
Because Lillet, right? I like to use
I
the
know.
Lillet. Because Lillet.
But it's not a vermouth.
No, but it makes things awesome.
Okay.
And
I
the
just need.
red-
I need your answer. Is this better than the Noilly Prat?
It's more interesting. I don't think I still want to drink. It's better. I'll give you that. But it still is not something I'd ever want to sit and drink.
Okay, so take another drink of water.
But it's got a dry.
If you were making a cocktail and you wanted to be fancy, which one would you use?
Well, I would never use this.
You would use this.
Right. This is the same reason I default to Lillet, because I don't want to use it.
I know.
This one?
This is Vya.
Same kind of similar aroma, like a flowery lavender.
Mm-hmm.
You're still saying because I said something.
You know I always do that to you.
Makes me sound smarter. But dude, that's lavender.
Yeah. Is this not the best vermouth you've ever tasted?
Now that one doesn't have a quinine
No.
finish. It's better than the. It's got flavor to it. This tastes like fortified wine. When I think fortified wine, I think of it just like a dry alcoholic.
No. This is what vermouth should have tasted like.
Then what happened?
They got cheap.
Because it's so, but you don't have any basis for proof on why it's bad. Your
my
theory-
hypothesis
Okay, hypothesis
is that they're using
Good use.
cheap wine,
Okay.
and that Vya uses expensive wine, which then makes it taste better.
But it's not that expensive. I mean, this was $22.
Yep.
This is, maybe it's not 10, maybe it's less. I don't know. It seems like it would have to be less. Hey, Jennifer, do you have the liquor store anywhere that you could look at our liquor store and see how much Noilly? I don't even know if we sell Noilly
Question
Prat.
of the day before it's
Vermouth.
pulled off my screen.
Yeah. Question of the day.
Of the 6 core liquor spirits, it just scrolled off my screen. 6 core spirits, what is your baseline for?
Each. It's gonna be more work that way.
Damn it.
I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about.
Baseline core spirit.
Yeah.
What is my baseline core spirit?
Like, I'm guessing that means like which of every five core spirits or 6 out of all the core spirits, what is the one that you compare all the newcomers against?
That doesn't work that way. That's like apples and oranges.
No. In their own
What are the
category.
5 that are the
Like for instance,
baselines?
Cabo Wabo. If I want to
Cabo
taste,
Wabo is my baseline.
right? So that's my baseline for tequila blanco. It gets confusing when you go to
Bullet
Reposado.
Rye is
For
my
a rye.
baseline. Yep.
But then you have all other ones like
Bourbon would be Jim Beam White.
Really?
Yep.
You like Jim Beam?
That's my baseline.
Why?
It's just I equate that to the atypicalist
What did you
bourbon.
want me to look up?
Noilly Prat.
Noilly Prat or Vermouth on our
Gin, I would say Beefeater
Really?
is my baseline.
Dude,
Oh,
that's the worst
that's
baseline
horrible.
ever. You ruin everything that way. Everything wins.
Everything is better than
A
that.
liter is $10.
No, what? A liter?
Yeah.
This is like a quarter of a liter.
So that's like $1.50.
Holy
Your
crap!
liquor store, a liter is $10.
So do you not see what I'm talking about?
This isn't even a liter.
Oh, that's a $7.50.
Okay. Yeah,
So
it's cheap wine.
Cheap wine.
Has to be cheap wine. It's
Expensive
not like the
wine.
bottle is very
Okay.
complicated.
Where are we at? Okay, so gin.
Oh yeah, gin. My gin. Well, you can go with your stupid stuff. I'm gonna go for my baseline. I'm gonna start with Oxley.
So what do we say is our baseline for vodka?
Vodka's tricky. You want to know what? There's 2 different ways I go with vodka. If my baseline for an American vodka or a neutral grain spirit is Tito's, because that is as neutral as a grain as you can get.
Okay,
right?
I'm good with that.
And so if you're looking for pure, this gotta hide everything. But if you want to bring in more character and nuance,
Rum?
Russian standard. Rum, Crucian aged is pretty good. I haven't found, that's usually the one I usually start with.
Because there's so many different types of rum. We could be talking about that for an hour.
Rum is very confusing.
My baseline for Scotch is
I can't
Balvenie Doublewood 12.
I have that.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
That's what's in there, I think.
Okay, so answer the ultimate question. Did I choose wisely by using Vya instead of Noilly Prat?
Yeah, here's my problem.
Okay.
I don't, how the people are gonna ask this, how long is it gonna last in my refrigerator? Like, write that. This is all we use today, which isn't true because we have a
If you
show
put it
with
in your fridge now,
Yeah.
you get like four or 5 weeks.
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 That's not very good. What happens after that?
Well, it's going to oxidate. It's wine.
So it's fine.
It's just like putting a wine in your fridge. You're going to get longer than a normal wine bottle because it's fortified.
Right.
But it's going to go bad over time.
What's going bad though? This is already bad.
The
So when do
wine
I
is
know when this
changing. Well, yeah. Oh, the wine is going to change the flavor.
But it, like with red, that's like a week.
Yeah, but these are fortified.
I know. So for me, I could be talking 6 months, 8 months.
Yeah, you're not going to get 6 months.
I could bet you if I drink that in 6 months, I'll still be fine with it.
Okay.
Is it gonna kill me though?
No, it's not going to kill you.
It's
You're,
just
you're good.
you're losing the purpose. So 5 weeks to keep it to where the best if used by, if you will.
Yeah.
5 weeks, right? So I would say the problem with this is I want this in a bottle like this because this is more easy for me to create because I don't create a lot of cocktails.
Well, we're going to send this out to the people at Imbue and Vya. So there you go. Vya, he wants the smaller ones.
Yeah, do they make them? Because that would be super awesome. And if you don't, you should make them because that would be super awesome for people who make a limited amount of, like for instance, if I want to go make what's a good cocktail that uses that gin martini,
Oh, I was going to say like Manhattan or something like that.
Manhattan,
Oh,
whatever. Does Manhattan?
I don't know. I'm tired. Yeah.
Well, a martini.
Yeah.
If I was to have a party, I don't know if I'd be able to bust through that bottle. I know if I had this, if I had 2 of them, I'd open one, I'd use it, and if it was gone, then I'd open the other one. Otherwise, I'd save that for my next party. That's why I like a small one.
Okay.
This is cool. I think this would be in better place in an area where tonic water can have a play, where that quinine draw, right? I wouldn't put it into a sweet cocktail. But then again, when do sweet cocktails call for vermouth?
Yeah.
Very rarely.
Exactly.
Both good products, but I still, I'm still think they would be themselves as a product. Like people say, oh, I drink vermouth. Like, that's what I do.
If that's what you did,
Then you don't ever want to drink this.
That's gross.
Dude, if I saw a guy sitting down on a porch drinking this, you know, and his buddy's got a beer, I'd be like, you're really drinking Noilly Prat. What is wrong with your face?
What's wrong with your face?
So, there you go.
Okay.
Good? Go buy yourself some vermouth. We'll use one of these this week. Maybe we'll do the cocktail twice if we're inspired to do so. You'd think we'd be drunk.
I know.
We're done. EverydayDrinkers.com. You need to go out to AwesomeDrinks.com, buy some stuff. Why? Because I just bought 2 bottles of vermouth that I may never actually get all the way through. That cost me $40. So somebody's got to help me out and buy something.
Teach you how to drink.
Yeah, what do you say? What time is it now? 7:09 p.m.
Do it.
Eastern.
Rock
Ready?
and roll. Go.
I can't see the camera.
Oh my God.
Here, put this crap out of my way.
Come on.
Can't see anything except for your
Go.
friggin' hands. Here we go. Ready?
Okay.